Thanks so much for joining me today. My name is Stephanie, and I will be your yoga teacher for today. Today is day 29. Way to go for showing up. Hardest part is already completed, so go ahead. Give yourself a little pat on the back. Way to go, self. Good job. We're going to begin today's playful flow and standing. You can come to the top of your mat to stand or wherever you feel like is best. We'll start by rooting down through our feet like always, picking up those toes, feeling the corners that are planted into the mat, and slowly begin to lower each toe down as slow and controlled as you can. Little bend in those knees like buoyancy. We got a neutral pelvis here. We're not splaying it backwards or forwards. I will demonstrate just for a second here. Tilting it back. I'm actually tilting it forward, and here I am tilting it back. So when we're standing here, we want the neutral pelvis. We want our hip bones just facing forward. Roll those shoulders back, palms face forward. Crown of the head grows long, reaching towards the ceiling, and go ahead and close those eyes down. Dropping in, seeing how we feel today. Going ahead and bringing that childlike playfulness into your body. We're going to have fun on our mat today. This is not serious. This is playful. This is sukha, aka ease. Nothing hard. We'll just be playing today. One of my favorite things to say is stop taking life so seriously. We are promised two things in this lifetime. We are born, we've already got this promise, and we die. Those are the only two guarantees we have in this life. What we do to fill all this time in between is so 100% up to us. You guys know I choose to live this more light, more playful, more joyful. And I just feel like we could all choose the other way to live. It wasn't that long ago, maybe 4-ish years ago, that I lived that very, very, very pessimistic life. We have the power to control how we view life and the world around us, if we only choose to. So we're going to start with a forward fold. So I'm going to come to the top of my mat. So we'll inhale, arms up overhead. Gaze can follow them. Maybe take a slight little back bend here, keeping those glutes engaged, cores engaged. And on our exhale, we'll fold down into our forward fold. Go ahead and take those feet hip width apart, grabbing opposite elbows and swaying left or right. Of course, I'm going to give you options here. If you want to grab your two toes with your peace fingers to help pull, do that. Wherever you are, just making sure that we have the bend in the knees. The point of the fold is to stretch through the back muscles, not so much the hamstring muscles. So if we're getting our belly to our thighs, we're helping drop through those hips and stretching through them back muscles, which cause so much pain for people. So just hang here just a few minutes. I'm not going to have us here long. Yes, I said few minutes. I will have us here, but not too long. Just noticing how this position makes you feel. What thoughts start to come up here? If you're looking for movement, this can be a hard position to surrender to, because it is an active position. It's not like we can just relax like Shavasana. But it's also a little uncomfortable because of all the muscles and stretching that happens when we're here. Just acknowledge the thoughts that come up and let them go. We're not inviting them in for tea. Go ahead and come up to halfway lift on your next inhale. Lengthening through that spine, weight is in the toes. Remembering the head is an extension of the spine. And we're going to exhale, we're going to fold over both of those legs. Plant the hands. We're going to step the left foot back, followed by the right. And let's just shift forward here. A little rocking on our wrist. Maybe take some circles one way and another way. Just really feeling into this here. And go ahead and push back into our downward dog. Maybe walking them feet in a few inches. And then, of course, taking our dogs for their first walk of the day. So pushing through the shoulders, bending through the knees. No reason to be locking the knees out here. Breathe. Nice conscious breaths here. Of course, there's always room to play here. Taking the feet to the outside edges of the mat, of course, and taking one hand to the opposite ankle. It's always a good option. Side bend, so putting your ankles towards one side, stretching all through that right side. Just come here after you've given your dog a little walk and just find some playful movement here, whatever that looks like to you. Maybe spinal rolls are calling your name. Come up to them toes and roll forward into plank and then send those sits bones back up towards the sky. Playing just a little bit here, seeing how we feel today in our beautiful, wonderfully made bodies. Just go ahead and have some fun. We're going to be here for a couple more breaths. And of course, if stillness is where you're looking for right now, then just come here and be still. Take one more breath in down dog. And we're going to go ahead and sweep that right leg up for three-leg dog. We got square hips here. We're not opening. And bring it forward, knee to nose, rounding through those shoulders, pushing hard. Up on the tippy toes on that left foot. And step it in between the hands. Lower down that left knee. And we're going to go ahead and come up to our crescent lunge here. Arms up. Breathing. Smiling. Happy yogis here. Beautiful. We're going to bring our hands down. And we're going to bring this left, tuck the left feet and bring that left knee off the ground. So we're in our runner's lunge here. So we're just going to rock back and forth. Really feeling into the right hip flexor, the left hip flexor, our psoas muscle on that left side. So feeling into this runner's lunge here. Very nice. You can go and lower that leg again. And we're going to heel toe this right foot out to the outside edge of the mat. And we're coming in for lizard. So if you're here and this is enough and you feel this, just stay here. You can untuck that left toe if it feels good, or you can leave it tucked to protect the knee, whichever you prefer. So we want to keep this right foot firmly planted. It can be pivoted towards the outside of the mat, but we don't want to see it roll over to the outside edge. We want to keep it on the mat. As always in these positions, we want our right knee not splaying over that right ankle. So we want it back or parallel with that ankle. If you're here and you feel like this is good, you can go ahead and try to walk down to your forearms, seeing how this feels in them hips. Acknowledging the thoughts that may be a little weird coming up out of those hips. And smiling. We're happy. This is a nice position. And it's really good for us. So just take some conscious breaths, sending that loving energy into that right hip, directing that flow. And slowly begin to push back up. Heel toe that foot back in. Tuck the left toes and pull that right knee up. And we're just going to step back into our downward dog. We're going to vinyasa, of course. So roll forward into plank. You can lower the knees here if you want, but we're coming for chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And everybody meets back. Downward facing dog. Very nice. Allow your next inhale to bring that left leg up. Squared hips here. Pushing equally through both the shoulders. And round forward, knee to nose. Be on the right tiptoes. And exhale, plant that foot down in between the hands. Lower down that right knee and allow your inhale to bring you up. Crescent lunge, arms up. Big smiles here. Beautiful, playful, happy yogis. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. So, of course, same things on this side. So we're going to plant our hands down. And we're going to come up on that right knee and just kind of rock forward and backwards here. Runner's lunge, feeling all into that left hip now. And that right hip flexor and psoas muscles. Such a good stretch. And of course, the playfulness here is just this rock, this kind of rocking motion, finding the buoyancy in our bodies. If stillness is better for you, of course, stillness is a great option, always. Very nice. We're going to lower that right knee and heel toe that left foot out. Hands on the mat, and that right foot can be tucked to protect the knee, or if it feels fine, it can be untucked. So just feeling into this left hip here, how it feels. If this is good for you, you can go ahead and come down to your forearms. Just making sure we keep that left foot on the ground. And of course, this left knee is not splaying over this left ankle. Breathe. Direct that breath to the tight spots and fill it with love, some appreciation, a little bit of joy. Deep conscious breathing here. All in the belly. Filling up the chest cavity. And then fully letting them go. Very nice. Slowly come back up. Heel toe that left foot in. And tuck those right toes. Step back, downward dog. Beautiful. We're going to vinyasa, or you can take child's pose, whichever you prefer. But we're going to roll forward into plank. Lower down chaturanga. Push up into our upward facing dog. And everybody meets back in downward dog. And if you took child's pose for those couple breaths, we're going to go ahead and everyone meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale that right leg up. So we're going to start with square hips. And we're going to bend that knee and open the hips up. We're going to take hip circles here. I want you to make sure that you're pressing equally through both the shoulders. We're not collapsing or dumping here. So just take those circles one way, and we'll reverse the circle to make sure we get them the other way. Working those thigh muscles, working the hip flexors. This is a great movement. Beautiful. We got the open hips, foot is back. We're going to drop that foot back behind us. We got bent knees. We're coming into Wild Thing. So we're going to push hard through this left shoulder, left leg, keeping the chest lifted towards the sky. Right hand is behind us. And that right foot is there to help us balance here. Just feel this. This is probably a little weird. It's okay. It's a strong pose. We're going to inhale. We're going to plant this right hand. And we're going to swing this right foot through, kind of like a thread in the needle. But we're coming in for a falling star. So place that right foot out in front of you. And lift that left hand up towards the sky. And it can also drop back behind, kind of like the Wild Thing hand. And we're breathing here. Beautiful. Plant that left hand down and step back into down dog. Very nice. Very good job. We're going to roll forward into plank. Lower down chaturanga. Push up, upward facing dog. Everyone meets back, downward facing dog. And yes, we got one more side here. So let's go ahead. Inhale that left leg up. Square hips first. And go ahead and open those hips and bend that leg. So we're going to do the hip circles here. So go ahead and take them one way. And we're going to go ahead and reverse that circle. Beautiful. Get them hips open, leg bent. So we're just going to let it fall behind us. Okay. Pushing through that right leg, right shoulder. Almost a little back bend. Left hand is out in front, long. Or up towards the sky, whichever feels better for you here. Breathing. Same thing as the other side. Planting that left hand. Swinging that left foot through into fallen star. Right hand goes towards the sky. Beautiful job, yogis. Way to go. Beautiful stars you are. Breathing. We're not holding or clenching. And plant that right hand. Step back, down dog. Beautiful. Roll forward into plank. Lower down chaturanga. Push up, upward facing dog. Everyone meets in child's pose. Go ahead and take a few deep breaths here. Coming up off of those wrists. Maybe giving them a little roll. Otherwise, just come here and allow your breath to come back. And no, we're not done. But we're done with all of the down dogs and all of that kind of stuff. We will be grounding from here on out. Just acknowledging how your body feels after all that movement. And slowly we'll pull ourselves up. You should be in a kneeling position here. We're going to do cow legs, so go ahead and come onto your booty. Whew. And we'll just start with the left foot tucked in. And our right is going to go over the left. So we've done this before in our 30 days here. So we're trying to stack the knees. You see, this is not stacked and this is good. We're pulling on this right hip. No sharp pains. And this is us stacked. Okay. So we just sit up nice and tall here. Just no sharp pains. Okay. If you need a blanket or a block, please use one of those. If you're here and you're seated upright and you're like, this is it, this is good, this is where I am, love it. Be here. Smile. Close those eyes down. Find that calmness within you. If you want a little more, you can go ahead and walk your hands forward, trying to come into a little fold here. And we're breathing. Sending that loving energy and awareness to those tight hips. Hey, Mama. Did you come to join us for yoga? You're so sweet. This is Alice. Yes, she's my Alice in Wonderland. We used to have a hamster, and we would put him in the little ball to roll around, and his name was Mad Hatter. Purposely, very purposely named. And Alice would literally chase the Mad Hatter around the house, and it was the cutest, coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. Alice thought so too. Okay, if you're down, let's go and come up. So we're going to do a twisty twizzle to get our legs wrapped the other way. So we just push up, and we literally turn around towards the back, and just keep your feet planted, and you should come back into this nice little cow legs again. My yoga teacher that I used for years called that the twisty twizzle. And we stick with it because that is the most playful, childlike word I could explain that in. So go ahead and come here and feel yourself here. Sit up nice and tall. And if you want, you can walk those hands forward. Breathing here. Sending that directional energy of love to those tight hips that are probably screaming at you right now. This is not an easy position to stay in, but you're a rock star because you're doing it. Miss Alice don't join us much for yoga. What an honor to have the kitty here. And slowly peel yourself up. All right, so go ahead. Twist those legs out. Maybe windshield wiper left or right could feel really good right here for you. Tight hips. Pesky hips. Okay, so let's go ahead and come down to our backs. Send the legs up. We're going to do my favorite ab exercise. So go ahead and interlace your hands. Kali Mudra here. Destructive forces. Any negative thoughts, we destruct them. We knock them out. We let them go. So go ahead and bring your arms over behind your head. We're going to come up and we're going to drop the left leg down and hover it. And then we're going to drop our body down and come up to the right. The whole time keeping left leg hovered, and then we'll switch legs. We're just going to do 10 of them. So drop that left leg, come up and down and up. Beautiful. That's one. So right leg hovers up, down, and up. Two. Switch. Up, down, up. Three. Switch. Up, down, up. Switch. That was four. Up, down, up, down. Switch. Five. Up, down, up, down. Switch. Six. up, down, up, down. Switch. 7, up, down, up, down. That was 8. Switch. 1, up, down, up. I'm getting off. That was 9. We got one more. Up, down, and up. Beautiful. Hug those knees in. We're coming into happy baby next, so go ahead and grab for the outside edges of the feet or the ankles or the calves, whichever way we are attempting to pull our knees into our armpits. And of course, playtime here is abundant. And of course, stillness is always an option. You could come here and just be pulling actively, keeping the shoulders and the sits bones on the mat. Or you can rock left or right here. And you can also play with straightening the legs and seeing what that feels like. We just did that, so it should be a little familiar for you just to know if you want to do that or not. If this doesn't make you feel like a big giant kid, I don't know what would. Besides rocking and rolling up to a seated position, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Hug those knees in. And we're going to just rock and roll up to a seated. So nice little spinal massage here before we land up in our most beautiful seated position. We're going to come here today for just a tiny meditation. It won't be long. So go ahead, grow tall here. Hands can be on the knees to ground, or palms can be face up for receiving. Go ahead and come here. Close those eyes down. Do not think. Allow the energy to absorb. Imagine yourself in Shavasana right now. Relaxed, calm, peaceful. No worries. You are exactly where you are meant to be right now. And you just completed day 29. Sending you all the love and all the light. Clearing the thoughts. Allowing the stillness is hard. It takes constant effort and practice. I am humbled by you attempting. Showing up and trying every day is what will help you master yourself and your thoughts. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you back tomorrow. A humble day 30. The light inside of me honors and acknowledges the light that is inside of you. Namaste.